Fun to show. They always post a bunch of highlights of me rolling around and stuff, but I throw from the pocket quite a lot.
Right.
I didn't throw all 300 or 500 the year before from out of pocket, so I wanted to show that I can do consistently, have a base consistently, be stable through it consistently, deliver where I want to throw it, consistently, and let a few fly so you can see the arm a little bit. So that was my goal.
Well, obviously, a lot of the attention's on the Chicago Bears. I mean, you know that it's been the discourse for the past couple of weeks.
Yep.
What's been your conversations like with them? What kind of things have they wanted to kind of know from you outside of the football playing part of it?
Yeah. So you see a bunch of stuff always on social media about me. Even though I don't speak or post much, you see everything about me every single day, recently at least. And so they want to just get to know me, see what type of player I am. Because, to be the number one pick, you're investing a lot into a QB and players that are number one picks. And so they want to see who they're investing their time, energy, and effort into, money into. And that's, first and foremost what they're trying to do.
Yeah, Ryan Poles, the general manager, I heard him speak about the fact that he said, look, I'm confident that I can assess the player.
Yeah.
I'll be able to figure out what he can do on the field.
Yeah.
I just want to know what he is like as a person. So if people were asking you right now, tell us a little bit about Caleb Williams. Tell us who you are. What would you say is important for them to know?
Yeah, first and foremost is winning. Whether you see it after games, win or loss, you see the raw emotion. I will always wear my heart on my sleeve. That's just how I am. And then two, I care for my guys. You may have seen it out here today, but I care for them, and I try and take care of them any way I can.
Louis, what did you think of Williams' workout today?
Yeah, Laura, it wasn't spectacular from a throwing standpoint, but it was very targeted in terms of what he wanted to show, which is what he alluded to in that interview. He wanted to show that, look, despite all the flash and dash, the off-schedule plays, second reaction throws, rolling left, throwing back across my body, I am someone who does value what the NFL values, which is a quarterback who can play on time, in rhythm, within structure, deliver the football accurately. You heard him talk about the fact that he wanted his base to be sound. He wanted his mechanics to be something that are repeatable. Yeah, he missed a few deep shots, but look, if you're Ryan Poles, and you're Matt Eberflus, who were standing right behind where he was throwing, do you really care? Do you really care that he missed a couple of those deep balls? No. You wanted to see that he's putting in the work in the necessary areas that he needs to put in the work, and more importantly, whatever conversations they had with him, that they're getting comfortable with the person, which is what Ryan Poles said was most important to him anyway.
Yeah, we saw the video of him hugging Poles and Matt Eberflus, who was also there. What was the vibe as he interacted with teammates, coaches, executives that were there? Obviously the Bears, but maybe even outside of that as well.
Yeah, he was very relaxed, Laura. Very relaxed. And it wasn't where, he was trying to go up and greet everybody in an excessive way that you wound up sitting there thinking, oh, he's just putting on a show. He's just trying to make it look like he's like everyone else. No. Look, for a kid who is a Heisman Trophy winner, who's one of the biggest earners reportedly in terms of NIL money, who was put on a pedestal and who has been in the spotlight, his entire career, he didn't come off that way. He came off as someone who was a college guy who understands that, look, I'm the presumptive number one overall selection in the 2024 NFL draft. I know what that means, okay? I get it. But he's not someone who walked around here at this beautiful complex today giving off that air of, I'm a step above everyone else. And that's kind of cool to see. Now, some people will say, well, that means he's not quite aware of what, the gravity and the magnitude of who he is. I'm like, he's plenty aware of what people are expecting of him. But I think you saw a little bit of a glimpse of authentically who he is. And of course, there's always, every person has some kind of skeleton and isn't quite exactly maybe who they are, in front of you all the time. But look, this is a young man who's still finding his way. I was thoroughly impressed, quite honestly. And it was a brief meeting, obviously, for me. But there was a few things I wanted to see what kind of vibe I got from him. And I really liked it. And that's why this kind of stuff is so important. You can watch all the tape in the world until you get in front of someone's face and talk to them and ask them questions that they don't have any prepared answers for, and they just need to react to you naturally. You're never going to know. I really liked what I saw out of Caleb Williams today overall.
And you got a chance to catch all of it. What were your takeaways from what you saw out of Williams?
Yeah, it was an underwhelming performance throwing the football, but it was geared towards the naysayers. Like Louis kind of intimated when it came to, he wanted to just kind of almost had a governor on him and not to have much flash because his tape is so flashy. I did like the fact that Louis said, you know, just watching how he walked around and handled himself was impressive. I think like the pro day is a little bit of a microcosm of where the Bears likely are. 2023, there's not a lot of like eyebrow raising, jaw dropping, wow throws from the pocket. There are tons of it outside the pocket. 2022, there's a fair amount of eyebrow raising, jaw dropping, wow throws from the pocket. And so you're trying to figure out, if you're the Bears, like, why was that the case? Now, he had Addison, who's obviously had a tremendous rookie season with the Minnesota Vikings in 2022. He didn't necessarily have that guy in 2023. So, like, when you watch the pro day, you go, all right, you know, a little bit pulled back. And then when you watch the 2 years of tape, you sit there and go, well, 1 year, it's a no-brainer, #1 pick. And the next year, you sit there and go, how much of that can I bank on happening on Sundays? And again, all reports are he's going to be the #1 pick. For me, that's what I would want to figure out if I was the Bears, amongst many other things.
I think the thing about Caleb Williams is I feel like he's been a #1 overall pick as a no-brainer type pick since he started at Oklahoma for Spencer Rattler. Let's remember early in his freshman year, it's 4th and 1. The running back has the football. He's getting driven back behind the line. Caleb Williams takes the football from him and scores a touchdown. The kid just gets it when it comes to playing football on the field. What we haven't heard many times from a lot of these top quarterback pro days is it was underwhelming throwing the ball. Both Dan has said that and Louis Riddick. That also reminds me of the fact that when I listened to him talk to Louis after the pro day, when he was just talking about what he was focusing on, this kid is very aware of the narratives and perceptions around his game. There's a narrative that he can't play from the pocket, that he can't play on time. So that's what he wanted to showcase. And seemingly he's been told that he's sort of an enigmatic personality, right? His character. They wanted to see what type of leader he could be. And he made sure to speak about being a guy that loved the players he played with and also that winning was his top priority. So I do look forward to watching the rest of the process for Caleb Williams and fully expect him to be picked #1 overall.
Yeah, RC, another thing that stuck out to me was when he mentioned that he wears his emotions on his sleeves, because that's been a criticism as well. Booger, if Williams does go #1 overall to the Bears, how do you like his fit in that offense, especially now that they've added some more pieces?
Yeah, I think the fit's going to be pretty good. Like, anytime you bring in a rookie quarterback, you have to ask yourself a couple of questions. Who are the playmakers going to be? Okay, they got Cole Kmet at tight end. They got Keenan Allen. They got DJ Moore. So they got some pretty good playmakers. Can you protect this young quarterback, especially if he's going to play early? Offensive line is pretty good. They drafted Darnell Wright very high at right tackle last year. They need to add a couple more pieces, but the young guys are coming on. And then the last thing, which is I think the key piece, is who's going to be the play caller. And you got Shane Waldron as the offensive coordinator coming over from Seattle. We saw what he did there with Geno Smith. So I think all the pieces are in place for Caleb to come in and be successful. The key is going to be, in my opinion, not to put too much on this young guy early. I think the thing you make a mistake with these young quarterbacks is you come in and you ask these young quarterbacks to be the savior from day one. Just come in and be a game manager and then let the wild plays take care of themselves later on. If the Bears do that, and right now they're doing everything that they need to help this young man, assuming he's going to be the #1 pick, I think he'll be successful early on.
Real quick, Boog, I think that would be a challenge for him, is his willingness to not want to have wow plays. He's capable of them. He needed it at USC. They were giving up 40-plus a game. How willing are you to be able to do that? I think that will be a challenge for him, yes.
It feels like